hey guys, today I just wanted to take a second and make a special little extra video because a lot of people will ask, do you have advice for young wrestlers and, getting started, getting the business, want to make it to WWE or AEW or something like that. I'm just getting started. What things should I work on and what tips do you have? Things like that. So today I'm going to give you just what I think. And again, this is just me. I'm a very different wrestler and have had a very different experience than many wrestlers down the road. So each person will have different opinions, but I would like to think that a lot of these are universal to most of the people I love, know, and respect in the business. And I think they could help you. So use this as a reference and take it, for what it's worth. And let's get started. These are going to be the 5 top tips that I'm going to give to new, young, emerging wrestlers out there. To start off, the one thing that I think is huge, and you might not want to misinterpret me on it because it can sound a little weird, and that is to get in shape. So before I go forward, that does not mean you have to be a bodybuilder. I think we've all learned that the business has moved beyond the 80s and, Hulk Hogan and Sting and the Ultimate Warrior and guys who have to use a lot of drugs to get huge. Now, is it nice to have an attraction type of person who's very large? You look at your Braun Strowmans and stuff like that? Sure. That will always be an appeal in wrestling. Overwhelmingly, we do not need gigantic bodybuilder guys in wrestling all over the place. I'm not saying that. But you need to get in shape. You can't just be like, hey, I'm kind of like, I can do some backflips or athletic stuff just naturally, because some people have natural talent, and just go wrestle. Like, I think you got to build up your strength. You got to build up your cardio, your endurance. Build up your neck muscles. Get in shape in a healthy physical way, because your body is going to take a lot of punishment. If your back is strong, if your knees are strong, your leg muscles, all that stuff. I'm not going to get into the weeds on it, but get in shape just means get strong, get healthy, prepare yourself for the very long and difficult road that is pro wrestling. For number 2, and this might be the most important one, if you're just starting out, find a reputable school and trainer. I cannot emphasize this enough. Now, not every single place is going to have, an extremely famous wrestling school, right? Run by somebody like Cody Rhodes in the Nightmare Factory, right? Not everybody's going to live in a place that has that, or even has somebody who's been on TV, blah, blah, blah. I know. But at the very least, do your research. Make sure the person who's training you has actual experience. You'd be surprised at how many people don't. And have run either successful shows, have competed, for years, have years of experience, not once a month in the same town for 15 years. I'm talking about guys who have traveled, who have worked all over the place, who have both connections and experience with all kinds of talent. Because remember, this is the person who is giving you the bedrock education of your wrestling career. It is very, very important that you learn and get a good head start, because that can mean a lot. Because otherwise, you're going to have a lot of habits that you might have to break later on. So get a good start. Do your research on your wrestling school. Make sure it's worth your time and worth your money. So number 3, once you start training and everything, to me, the biggest thing to really focus on is sell. You will have plenty of time. You will always be coming up with new moves. And I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I'm some old timer who's like, these kids do too many moves. I love it. Athleticism and great, impressive moves and all this stuff. But I think a lot of people overemphasizes all the stuff that they do instead of how they put over what other people do, or selling the story of the match and things like that. So sell, and that doesn't mean just bump. Not some head over heels bump and everything is going to always work. I'm talking about facial expressions. Tell me what hurts, why it hurts. That's part of the art of storytelling. So I'll even include that. Selling and storytelling are kind of go hand in hand, because that will help you spoon feed to the audience what is going on, even if you guys have never touched or never wrestled, or if you don't have promos or stories leading up to your match. You can at least tell the story of what is happening, the pain, what they are working on, why the struggle you have to go through to fight back, or the babyface does, whatever role you're playing. Sell. It's all here and in body language. That I would say is much more important than the maneuvers and all that stuff. The moveset, that will come with time as you figure out what your strengths are in that department. But everyone needs to learn to sell. Number 4, for me, is work everywhere. There's a lot of people who get caught up, especially if you live in a state or an area that doesn't have a ton of wrestling, which I totally understand. You get wherever you train, you end up wrestling there on their monthly show. And like I said it before, you're there every single month for 10 years and you don't go anywhere else. Go out, reach out to promoters, bug everybody across the country if you can. After you get some experience, go one state over, go 2 towns over, wherever it is. Audiences will be different. Talent will be different. The things they respond to will be different. And if you can, get across the country and get across the world. Difficult right now with the pandemic situation, but hopefully soon enough, and if this is still on YouTube a year from now or something like that and we can travel again, it would still apply. Get out there. It's not easy, I know, but bug promoters. Ask around. See who is booking shows on a regular basis outside of your comfort zone, outside of your regular area. It's the only way that you're going to expand your mind and your wrestling skill set. And finally, this kind of ties in with the storytelling too, but I think it's just so important. Again, your moveset and your athletic ability will be huge. I am not taking that away. But number 5, learn to talk. Not everybody's going to be The Rock. Not everybody's going to be Mr. Promo. I understand, and that's fine. Those are, once in a lifetime performers. But being able to stand confidently, telling your story, putting over the rivalry, putting over your opponent, whatever it is. Because public speaking is not easy. And there's a lot of people, I think, who can kind of put their head down and wrestle and get through a match and aren't thinking about these things. But I'm telling you, it'll get you to that next level if you can truly engage a crowd without even locking up, without even throwing a single punch. I look at guys who, even went on the indies for a long time, like Eddie Kingston, who cut incredible promos. You feel it. You believe it. Because here's the thing. Audiences have BS detectors. Even if they don't know it. They know when something's not genuine. So find something. And that's part of character building. And that's why even the most outlandish characters can work. Because something in that character feels true to that person. And then they can emote that. And I think a lot of that comes out in talking and in promos. So find something you can feel passionate about, you can believe in, you can speak convincingly and with conviction on. Because that is what's going to resonate with audiences when you get that chance to speak, which I know isn't everybody on every show. A lot of the time it's just, you go out there and you got your match. But get that skill down because someday, you're going to get a microphone. Hopefully you work long enough, you're going to be in a top, story with somebody. And talking will sell that. Creative content and video production and doing videos where you're talking, cutting a monologue will help that. The sooner you can learn to tell that story, the better it'll be. I hope that helped. I don't know. That's just me, my personal thing from my experience. Again, everybody has a different point of view on the wrestling business, but I think those are at least bedrock things, in addition to so many others, but those to me are the 5 kind of bedrock things to help you out on your young and new professional wrestling career, because it can and is an awesome career when you get to have fun with it and get to travel and do it. So hopefully that helped, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys very much.